Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast, as part of a ZtormLabostix article. This audio podcast as part of a Bellow and Raw. This audio podcast as part of a Chrome edition. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production. In this audio podcast, looking at sort of looking at and around the test or investigation findings around myasthenia gravis. So in around the neurology, a motor nerve stimulation rate of one to 5 per second should result in around a 10% or more decrease. In around 10% or more decrease in the amplitude by the fourth action potential. And around the immunology, the acetylcholine receptor antibodies, the condition specific for IgG antibodies are present in around 90% of cases of generalized myasthenia. The antibodies are found in no other condition. In impure ocular myasthenia, there are detectable. They are detectable. The ocular the antibodies are detected in around 50% of cases. Around the pathology shows thymoma, a tumor of the thymus gland, and many others have thymic hyperplasia. CT or MRI can be performed in this cohort in the cohort that have thymoma and tumor of the thymus gland. Studies of or investigations of muscle biopsy specimens have shown that neuromuscular junctions of recipients have only 1/3 of the average acetylcholine receptor found normally, and the morphological changes such as simplification of the postsynaptic membrane folding and an increase in the gap between the nerve terminal and the post synaptic muscle membrane are also and have been observed in around the next audio podcast. There will be a sort of a brief overview in regard to and as part of some of the neuropharmacology. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix article. This audio podcast as part of a Bellow and Raw. This audio podcast as part of a Chrome edition, and this audio podcast as part of a ZtormLabostix production.